just more so for content. We gotta get the content in. You already know.
No, break it down.
Yeah. All right. Welcome, YouTube. I just added y'all in. Sorry, target to the party, but y'all be fine. Anywho, let's see. So what I want to see is that we had a very impactful move here, but now that we kind of created a new base a little bit further out, let me go ahead and unlock this. I'm looking at this range can be very important because it was a previous level, but I'm more concerned about here and here if it's going to act like a true support. So let's just say we fail to take up this area right here. This is a stronger, longer term order block right here at 917. I might even nibble a little bit on this. Actually, let me go ahead and position myself. Let's get rid of you. I'm done with you. And here's my thinkorswim. There we go. That is interesting. What's going Actually, before we do that, let me go check out Medtronic. Medtronic is pulling back. Oh, they gapped it down. That's why. Okay. Very cute. So I was looking for them to break this out here, and they just gapped it down, being disrespectful. Looks like they already filled the gap here. Looks a little tired there on the 2 hour, but I'm looking at something on a higher time frame, like the weekly, trying to get bullish again. So I want to hold on to it for another week, even though we kind of wicked this area, and I was aiming for this to be completely done. Let's see if the market dumping will allow for them to cycle or rotate to something like a Medtronic. We'll see. All right, back over to NQ. So I'm looking at this 2 hour, and let me go ahead and lock this in here. All right, perfect. I'm looking for this 2 hour to kind of determine that it's going to go ahead and give us a nice little rejection at this area. If it gives us a rejection, we could get a strong move to the downside. That's why I wanted to kind of position myself for that. It's 5 minutes already showing a little bit of signs of that, but we haven't even established our opening range yet. So that range could be all inside of here. Got a fair value gap here on the 15 minute. Let me see how it looks on the 2 hour. That's a long wick. If we didn't make a lower low after this peak here, I probably would be bullish. I feel like here is our first layer of a trap. Here is our last line of defense of a trap.
Yeah.
Here is our retest of a very interesting spot that probably will be key. So those are probably going to be very interesting spots where we're probably going to get some type of response, probably downside if anything. I'm still leaning on relatively bearish. I have no positions open, and I'm about to probably close off some of my other ones on Robinhood. I'm averaging like probably more than that, 10% in profit over there over the time. But this Medtronic was at 50%. I was at almost 100 and some change. I'm not too much happy about that. In about 17 minutes, we're gonna get full. Oh, actually, I just peeped. This momentum can make us fly right through to the upside now that I think about it. Because we solid base here. We put in a bullish fair value gap here, and in 17 minutes is going to confirm this. So there's nothing that looks too bearish on this side yet. So there's our first line of defense here. Let's see how they respond here. This is our psych level. So that's going to play very critical there. And then this one right here was the one I kind of talked about earlier. Probably that top area is what they really want for, but it's almost like we're probably doing like a bit of a retracement like this. Oops. Did I put it backwards? Yeah, I did put it backwards. So used to doing my blocks like that. So we just came through the 786 right now. So that makes the downside a very garbage move.
Top of the KC too.
But we also have, let's take the shorter side of W. We are above 50% of this W move right here. So that's the other part.
That's zero.
But we'll see. Most important part is for us to plan accordingly and let the trades come to us. We don't chase the cat because the cat scratch back. You didn't take a piece of this upside, right? You haven't made it to your destination yet, right?
Yes, I just parked and I got self call. I was thinking
Okay.
about taking my low 20%.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you if you did. I am considering shorting this area because it's at my psych level, but they could use me as cannon fodder and just use me for momentum. They're gonna continue to that upside. So yeah, yeah, no, that's a strong move.
Um, my Webull is displaying my profits slower than my candles are moving on trade. I'm not feeling that, yo.
Yeah, that's probably implied volatility. That's probably playing a part. So just be cautious of that. But overall, just I like to look at trades based on what I see on the candlesticks, not what is the P&L. So, if you think that it's done, then get out when you're ready, you know what I'm saying? Versus looking at the P&L. Unless you were looking for a percentage of profit to get out. That's the only time I ever do that. Like let's just say I
Yeah,
had
I
a
took
goal
my
of
profits.
20%.
I think I
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
no problem. I'm just saying I took my profits too soon just now, but I took them.
Okay.
I took them. I guess I'll just go to the queues. So now you guys on queue?
Yeah, I'm actually just watching right now. You said small gap. You said 682. Yeah, I see what you're saying. 682, 683, somewhere around there. But the funny thing about it, we're sitting on top of a gap that's big as go to a gap. So we're basically building an island gap that looks just like how Microsoft is building as well. So I'm very curious on how that 450 holds. I think everything is being built off of what Microsoft did.
Did that, then we should be going up.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Microsoft is driving us up, and also Meta is recovering. It is green for the day, but it did gap down. So they're trying to build that base. All right. So now what I'm kind of looking at, let me come down to a 15 minutes. So we got a 15-minute opening range. So what could they be targeting? The full position of the W would be around this area. So I'm still looking for when do they, pump the brakes a bit. I may be completely wrong on that, but that's okay because we're just looking at the market for what it's capable of doing more so than anything else. Let me get this over here. Let me get my other chart ready so I can see what I need to see. Let's get to you on the other side. Oh, I actually gotta turn you off. There we go. Mm-hmm. Bit of clear skies up here. But I'm leaning that if we get back under that 28,000 again, they may be sweeping some liquidity that's there. Very interesting red candle there. Might take a nibble on a short very soon. See how this responds. I'm gonna take this one right here. Let's see what happens here. All right, they still sweeping. Lost 20 bucks. I wanted to see if we can get that.
The gap looks very nice.
Yeah, but I'm looking at that gap on QQQ as a spot that we may reject at the gap than more
Six.
so filling the gap.
Say
Say that again, John?
But I see like a gap X80, like 680.50 or something.
Now it's pushing a little bit further. It's like 683. Um,
Yeah,
so
I
we
got
got,
it there.
as soon as you get above 680, it starts to fill all the way back to like 682 and maybe even get to hit this area like 683, just depending on how fast it comes about. But again, I'm kind of leaning on the downside still. I just think everybody's just enjoying themselves. Um, or maybe, you know what could
Take it
happen
down.
too? Maybe people
Take
are
it
like,
down. Hey,
say that again, sorry.
nah, you good. I said take it down at 680.
I would say if it shows a reversal at 680, maybe, but I wouldn't. Right now, this is a very strong uptrend that was built since last night. So we don't know who's getting out, when they're getting out. All right. And I was like 20 bucks on that one as well. Yeah. So I was looking for, is this tweezer top or order block? Is it strong enough to let this gap be the point that it rejects at? What is the real move right here? But let's have some fun here. So if we go ahead and get like a watch list, let's grab my I think SPY would be a good one. Meta's still down 50 bucks. All right. That was a massive one, but Microsoft is the one that's up 60 bucks. So it kind of brings us back to break even-ish, right? Um, then you got the other ones. You got Apple pulling back, but they're going to be reporting very soon. Amazon is up, but they're going to be reporting soon. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a back and forth overall. And we just got to see.
Breaking down. Be breaking down.
Just a little bit. It might be pullback.
Pull back to open range.
Hmm.
Also above the opening range candle, 15-minute candle. Is above that, the fib.
Hmm.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're almost to the gap on.
Oh yeah, let me get that. Glad I got it. I'll take that. But those gonna push out.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying to you when you were saying that you was already in on that upside. I was like, it look at the candlesticks more so than looking at the P&L, because their P&L will tell you to get out, especially if you saw, oh, I had 100, now it's $20. I better take it the next time I see 100. Now it probably was pulled back to let some people in that's going to help you get in there a little bit deeper. All right, so we're getting more of that gap. I want to see what happens to Microsoft with that. Does it reject or is it, yeah, you see, they're rejecting that 450 right now. It's going to be very fun to see what happens with that.
W on the Qs on 5 minute. In this gap. So just turn around at 680, or it might just be a pullback. Look like it's just a pullback. I may get into the upside in a few ticks right here.
Morning star or evening star?
Back into my target.
All right, got a good chunk of my money back. Seeing if this momentum brings us down even further, assuming that Microsoft is done with that 450 level, but it looks like they're not. It's fist fighting a little bit. I think there's some profit taking that's happening here. It looks like retracement still. All right, I'm out of that. So I got a good chunk of what I lost there. I am positive 16 bucks now versus being down a little over 100 bucks. But I just wanted to kind of like scalp some ideas and get my money back for that. But overall, the idea is still kind of, maybe do they reject this gap? You know, they're building a base here. If they sweep this here around this
Yes.
level, I may go ahead and, oh, actually, I'm not on NQ. Let me put this on NQC. I can see what I'm talking about. If they sweep around this 56 level, then I'll probably play more to the downside, but it looks like they're trying to do an internal reversal here. I got a couple of targets. 44. Oh, they touched the gap. No, they touched it. You talking about QQQ? Yeah, no, we touched it. We got above 680. The gap started at 680. So as soon as we got above there, they're trying to fill the rest of it now. Yeah, exactly. We didn't fill the gap yet, but we did touch the gap. And right now they're trying to take out, especially with this imbalance that we kind of came through, that imbalance can act like a resistance as well.
I don't know
No,
what
no.
to do right here.
I would say if you don't know what to do, it's okay to just sit out. I'm in the same boat as you. Part of me wanted to take a little bit more of that short because I think they just came back to retest. But the other part of me is waiting for them to kind of build a structure that tells me they're not going to get the rest of this gap. Right now, looks a little exhausted on this 5 minute, and I feel like it's a little top heavy. Question is, do the people that's there want to start taking that money? I have a very tight
Felt like
stop loss if
680
I get
could.
a short here.
It felt like it could be a turning. I said I would get back in. I didn't want to keep my position through this.
So they hit one of my targets.
Yeah,
But then first to go hit it.
I got a very interesting stop loss here. They may sweep it here, and then I don't know why I end up taking an L. Yep, they swept it. Took an L. Some had $5. All right, this is the game. This is how the game goes, you know. And some people kind of scream out, "That's manipulation," right? Yeah, no, this is part of the plan. Looks like that 21,100 level, they're giving a little bit of trouble here. Let's see if this actually holds.
It's acting like it's at through that level.
Yeah, they switched cheese in that level. They're gonna get the gap. I gave it a couple of shots. I'm back down on $20, so I gave it a couple of shots at it, thinking that this was a double top. If that area actually act like a double top, we probably would have came down a little bit further and sweep the liquidity here. But right now, it looks like whatever pivot we kind of created at 49, they're getting to the 100 and then some. Let's go back to the 15-minute. That's the next level of possible rejection here. Do I see more upside? Look, I think there's a reason why a company like Meta takes a L today. I think there's a reason why Google still hasn't recovered back to its 400 level. I think there's a reason why you got Nvidia that's under $200. There's a reason why you got Apple that's down right now because they had to hit the all-time high in that 35. There's a lot of reasons why we could be having this trouble, right? Oh, that was interesting. Might get a rising three method in some cases or a falling three method on the 1 minute. Very interesting price action.
I don't know if this is going to fall or if this is a pullback.
That could be a pullback. And again, if you can't discern that, this is where you could be like, okay, you know what? I'm risking X amount of dollars, and as long as it does X, Y, Z, then I'll respect it. Or if it doesn't, then I'm gonna go ahead and leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't fall for the trap because this market is designed to chew you up and spit you out.
That's right.
Right now, it looks like they don't have enough liquidity to get them through that gap. And right now, we're making one gap here
Like
for us
10%.
to.
I'm thinking about taking the 10%.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. There ain't nothing wrong with that. But you got to accept the fact that, if it goes further, you know what? Yeah, I could have had XYZ, but at least I had X, right? That's what I always want you to do.
I made a mistake in one of the previous trades. I felt like I should have.
Mm, okay.
My previous trade, it didn't break the 9, and I felt like I should have stayed in a little longer, but I
Upward,
didn't.
that eight move
Yeah.
upward, that'll push the candle.
Maybe.
If it got, I guess once I win more trades in succession, I guess then I'll be more comfortable, I guess.
Hmm.
I took my 10%. I feel like it's gonna push up. I felt like I shouldn't have gotten out.
No, that's fine. It happens. And that's what I was telling you earlier. Like you can't look at, oh, I should have held on to it just a little bit longer or this, that, third. That would drive you crazy. You're gonna get that shoulda, coulda, woulda. And then I know where it triggers that FOMO. And then now you're gonna go ahead and chase inside of it. Like it's look what it's doing now. You know what I'm saying? Like just write a plan, follow the plan, and whatever happens, let it do what it do. Because the last thing I want you to do is buy at this high price and probably they're just gonna get the top of the gap and then pull it back even further. We don't know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But I think
Mhm.
like what I'm saying is that I'm not following my plan, you know,
Oh, got
because
you from when you was
I'm
keeping it.
supposed right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
I
was
think I should hold
in back over in this area and you kind of got scared of this area here.
that's my truth.
Hmm. Hmm. But that's all
But
right.
uh I'm going in the right direction, so I'm gonna work with it. Let's get it.
Exactly. Part of the growing pains. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
All right. They got real close
You
to
in
this
anything right
gap right now. No. I was kind of torn with this whole entire downward move again, and they kind of went very violent on me. I may take a shot here now that it kind of pulled back, but they did not get the rest of the gap. And that could be the message that they're telling everybody. We're not going to allow you to. But part of me wants to go ahead and play it to the gap. Actually, I'm going to play it to the gap. I'm gonna capitulate.
up
Yeah,
or
no,
down?
no, upside, but this is very risky. Do not follow me. Do not follow me. This is a 10 o'clock candle,
You
and they could sweep liquidity, something very disrespectful. Look at that. This thing is
see
like
those
really
levels.
fist fighting.
Got a hammer about to form in 1 minute. Hammer complete.
15
All right.
Oh, I couldn't take profit fast enough. Look at that. Come on, hold on. Hold on,
There you,
star. Hold on, star. All right, there we
there you go.
go. And that damn it. I was trying to do a quick scalp. It hit my gap.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so there was still a piece. Yeah, they still didn't get a piece of QQQ. I probably could have held on to that a little longer. That's true. Hmm. Yeah, for NQ, this is what I was looking at as we was kind of coming through was this area here, trying to see if we was going to get that top of that wick. I almost was going to play it until we get to 250. Did he get it yet? All right, boom, there you go.
Yep.
And my gap is still going to my 15-minute 200.
So we're going
I
to see
got
what
to
happens here.
and that 80, 90%. Gap fill on
Pussy in
Q.
the
This was a very drifty up, right? And that's why things like that is hard to do. Let me come back over to QQQ for you, right? And this is where Close showed me this years ago, right? When we kind of make this move, if you had your stop loss here, it would have get all this move here. Then when it made that, your stop loss here, then it would have got all this move. Then your stop loss here, then we got all this move. And right now we're waiting for this candle to close so you can put your stop loss here, right? But since we already achieved an objective, which is the top of the gap, the question is, does it fill this fair value gap back here at 682 and keep going up? So you could probably take, like, let's just say you had 10 contracts, right? Take majority off as soon as it touched this and then leave your stop loss right here for the other one. And then if it gets the rest, great. You know what I'm saying? Because this was objective number one. Objective number two could be here, but that wasn't part of the original plan. But let the runners do that. Don't let your money do that.
Close some of these apps on my phone.
Damn, that support at
Hey,
77 brought us all the way to
oh,
150 and
goodness.
almost 200.
And I'm missing the entry, baby.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
hear you. Excuse me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. This could be an entry to the upside again. There it
Oh,
goes.
this thing.
But
Yeah,
you
out of here, I missed my.
no, it's okay. But you don't want to chase that.
Yeah, my phone is lagging
You don't want to chase that just in
because of
case
that
they pull
ceiling up there
something.
at 682.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at 682. Yeah, 680. Yeah, I would rather get through there before I. Yeah. But even though we know it's gonna break through there, but that's right. My phone is acting up, man. This is quite unfortunate.
This is very toppy. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna put a feeler out there. I want to see what happens with this. All right, that was an interesting drop right there. Oh, they soaked that up so quickly.
Way my device is doing.
Not right now, Papa. I'm in the middle of something.
I may wait.
They're building a position right at this spot here. Does it break? That was a nice little
They're
sweep
about
right
to take
there.
it down.
That's what it looks like. Is this the
Microsoft
top?
is spilling over.
Okay, there we go. I got like 150 on that one. Yeah, I think they're gonna push it right back up because they toyed with me. It showed me 200, and after it showed me 200, it snatched and made me negative 80. Then it fell right back down. So I think they want to, but there's some buying pressure sitting right around this level because they're trying to avoid it making an evening star. So a lot can happen here, and I'm gonna let the big money do the work. Not the little money over here trying to do all that work. $400 away. Let's get it. That's why my goal today is an extra $400. I would have did this in options, but this is a very, very tricky spot. I ain't gonna lie to you. I am not gonna hold you at all. Let's get over back to NQ. So we could be dealing with QQQ fighting with its psychological level at 680. That's a possibility. Let's see. Let's see if this reverse was right back over, or did they just average down to this upside here, folks?
I
Because this
pulled
thing
over.
just
I'm gonna have to
pushed up.
go home.
You say
This
what?
service. Well, I pulled over to the store, but I
Uh-huh.
think I'm gonna have to go home because this service is too janky or something. I can't get what I need to get.
Yeah. Actually, I got a question for you, Giant. I know you be running ripping and roaring around 9:30. Is there any way for you to do it like after 10, or do you have to do it like this early?
What's that trading?
Yeah, because I would say I think from how we kind of talk sometimes, I think your best opportunities be between 9:30 and 10 sometimes.
Yeah, I mean 10 is fine with me. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would say maybe look into that like when you're trading on tomorrow and next week. See how you are at 9:30 to 10 and write it down, like was it successful and everything and all that stuff. And then look at yourself at the other times, like after 11 going into 12.
At some point today or tomorrow, I wanna go over this trade I took this morning.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Let's aim for it during charting class tonight. We're gonna be on at 7 p.m. I had a feeling it was gonna be an evening star. Look at that. I was too apprehensive. I could have held this whole entire thing. That would have gave me my $400. That would have been it right there. Watch out for a bounce here. Psychological plus previous fib of a fair value gap. It's only a choppy down, right? They're slowly getting down here. It's not like an elevator down that most puts usually do. That was the move, Giant. That was the move. That was the move. Look at how, let me see how QQQ did. Yeah, if you sold the 682, we're already back to 679. Now, let's see if they bounce here. I'm thinking maybe evening star only because everything has been very bearish. I'm not evening star, very head and shoulders around here. So we might get back to 681 and there's new bears sitting right there if this thing gives it a bounce. Yeah, we've executed price discovery here. You can see how we just it's literally janking down. I got a key point. This is one of the key points here. We may bounce here. I may take a very small nibble here if this thing breaks below this level. I'm thinking that everything here will be eaten up, and then we just go ahead and go back to our regularly scheduled program. But this can be a bounce for us to go ahead and retrace, get the rest of the gap, and all that sell side liquidity that just stepped in here falls in victim to the bulls trapping them. So this could be a very interesting triggering, triggering. Let's see if the Bears have some more momentum on them. They got him on the ropes. Let's take a small nibble here. That was a massive sell-off, but we probably bringing price right back to the bulls where they're averaging on his and probably push right back up. Very dangerous trade trying to play this here. Right there. I'm gonna go ahead and see if we can get in and sweep this liquidity here. So let's just say institutions is this area. Smart money is stepping in here. And then you got, oh, oof, that's a massive little bounce right back up. Don't tell me you went ahead and tried to trap me. Don't be trying to trap me. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Let this market drop. Isn't this why you're here? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm at break even right now, and I'm debating if I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this because this thing could go ahead and bounce something violent because they did sweep it right back up on top of a block. Yep, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I will take my 40L and I will adjust accordingly.
Get right back up.
And that would have been it right there. Jump it right back in. Let's see if we can get that sweep back down.
Jump back in.
Yep, because that's the scalper's life. Ah, jerks. Yep, they're going to use this base as a bounce. Ah, you jerks. You jerks. You are jerks.
Oh, right here.
I'm trying to find an exit, but looks like they're going to kidnap me all the way to the top side of this because they're going to sweep all of that liquidity the way this is building up the way it is.
Drop.
Let's see if I can average myself out of here. It's not giving me anything. They're building on here. That's not a good sign. Yeah, they're going to sweep the sell side liquidity if this thing don't fall right now. Patience is a virtue, but sometimes it can be a double-edged sword. Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna be jerks about it. They're gonna be jerks about it. Come on, sweep that bad boy. There we
They're
go.
both.
Come on. Come on. I
They're
was
both.
holding on to God's unchanging hands. Okay, got a good average to get out of there, but I'm at relative break even. I'm gonna keep one runner just in case this thing really starts to take off. That way it can give me some of my money back and then prepare myself if this breaks that level. But it looks like they really are trying to bounce this thing. They are really, really trying to give it a bounce. Yeah, it was a very, listen, folks, I don't promote averaging down. I if the opportunity presents it and you're nimble enough, then you could do it. Remember, these are old dinosaurs and farts. They have hedge fund money, so they can't just go ahead and get out of their position. They have to build it. And we can kind of, you know, bob and weave a bit, kind of like Mayweather. So do not average on the downside. It's not always going to pan out. And sometimes your greed can make you hold on to something a lot longer, even though the thesis has flipped. So not a big proponent of averaging down. All right, there's a lot of bearish activity on how they drifted this. If they sweep the current sell side move, because we kind of built a wedge, it could explode to the upside. So be careful if you are playing the downside. There goes the attempt of the sweep. New 5-minute candle. Let's make a higher low. Upside still kind of intact. If they recapture this area, yep, I'm out of it.
And upside.
Yeah, ups because the thing is we put a 5-minute evening star here, and I was looking for that 5-minute evening star to really take off. So I won't be surprised for the next 10 minutes. We probably push up some more. I'm still gonna look for downside because I still think it's relatively bearish. But it's gonna be probably lower leverage. Probably gonna be real low leverage. Like right now, that's kind of attracting me a little bit.
In about 2 or 3 minutes, the back D will probably be green.
Hmm.
If it keeps pushing up.
Yeah. They keep averaging this and it's building almost like a rounded bottom type of action here. So there's nothing but pure buy side liquidity here. So we could easily just float it down and sweep that. It just depends if the bears really step up at this point and really try to break under that 100 on NQ, which would then, you see, I told you that 680 psychological level would be a very interesting spot. I won't be surprised if the Bulls are like, well, 680, so we can get back to 700. That's probably what they're screaming right now. One of the main reasons why I closed my Friday vertical puts, I was like, damn, if you can recover $10 in the same day, you might be recover $10 in the next day. So it's gonna be very interesting on this push to see what they do with it.
I may get in on some leverage real quick. Something to do.
Yeah, they're toying with that side. Brought it right back up. I'm back to down 100. I had 100. No, no, this is between multiple scalps. I wanted to play to the upside. I played it to the upside, made 20, and then I was looking for a rejection point because it looks like we was just going to a toppy area, especially with the 5-minute evening star. So I think that we could be putting that in right now. So I am looking to nibble again. We'll see if this holds. Night nibbles. Taking little snacks.
Tight stop and go into the up.
And some of those snacks are giving indigestion and taking out my portfolio. That's what happens when you take a whole bunch of snacks before your full meal. Let's see who breaks this level here. It's probably gonna put in like what could be an evening star type of action. Here's the 100 level. Oh, that's not what I expected. I kind of messed up a little bit, but it's a happy accident, and I'm at $600. Okay, let me close that. Damn it. So I was trying to buy two more contracts, and I actually bought 12. And when I make mistakes like that, I am shutting my futures account completely down so that way I don't make that mistake again. But the good thing is, I am now $82 away from my goal for today. And I'd rather wait till the middle of the market instead of me running my head into a brick wall by making a mistake like that. And thank God I got out of that. Look at that, push right back up. On that note, YouTube, I'm gonna bid you a fond farewell. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to the folks over at Zoom, and we're gonna go ahead and get it cracking and see what else the market has. So that said, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button, and send it to your friends.